Hello and welcome to another episode of Never a Straight Answer, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and I'm joined in the studio with the man who's always getting arrested for whipping out his flashy thing. It's Mr. Taylor. How's it going, Mr. T?
Not too bad yourself.
Yeah, man, good. Whoa, calm down, peeps, calm down.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. I've had another long week, but I've got a week off. Week off work. So today is the first day of the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Hooray.
So what are you going to be up to, though?
Don't know. I've got pure little bits and pieces I've got to do around the house, and just want to get straight before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then a bit of shopping, bits and pieces. See some friends. The standard stuff you do on your time off. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Not going on a holiday or anything, just having a bit of a doss.
Just chilling.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just chilling.
But I had a really good week last week. It kind of seems to fly by. And then I had a really good photo shoot yesterday in London. Got some good images there, and everyone had a great time. Yeah. That's all you can ask for. And now,
that is true.
Got home pretty late last night, but raring to go. Like I say, chill out now.
Yeah, chill out now for a week, a whole week of doing anything you wish to do.
So, what have you been up to? Because I know that, on topic, tonight we're going to be talking about the Men in Black, and this is the second episode we've done on the Men in Black.
Yeah, it is.
But I think there's that much to talk about that we can kind of go down these avenues more than once, and obviously it widens our understanding of the topic. Yes, and obviously it kind of helps build a bigger picture on the whole conspiracy or kind of phenomenon that is the Men in Black. Yes. The films make it... This is making it so difficult as well because obviously you mentioned this before about trying to get information on the topic. Yeah. It's like all that comes up is 4 and the film Men in Black International.
Yeah, I was looking for stuff that had happened this year, any reports and stuff like that. And it was just bang, wall to wall, Men in Black 2019. And it was like, I'm sick of these fucking trailers. It's making it harder
to do the research.
Yeah.
Well, this is it. This is what
it's.
There was a conspiracy with Walt Disney, weren't they, about how because we've done an episode on this about cryogenics.
Yes.
Go back and have a listen because it's all about was Walt Disney frozen?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. But you can go back and listen about that.
Yeah.
He potentially could have been. I'm not going to say. You're going to listen to the episode.
Yeah.
They say the cover-up was the fact that they called the movie Frozen because when you type in Disney Frozen now into Google,
it covers
it up. But you basically much comes up about the movie Frozen that the Walt Disney cryogenics conspiracy has been buried.
Yeah.
So it's pretty creative.
Oh,
but anyway, how's your week been anyway? So I know you've been. Go on.
Yeah, I've had a few. I think I'm going to start blaming you over this.
Why? Go on.
I'm being followed again. I'm going to start blaming you over it.
Now, again, I think if you're a regular listener, and even if you're not, welcome to the show. We're down in the bunker at NASA HQ,
hiding away
from the Men in Black, and basically,
dodgy
I've had a kind of campaign going in the past that because Taylor wasn't on social media, that I said follow him around in the streets, around the supermarket, put stuff in his basket, don't take me seriously when I say that, but it was a bit of a running gag. And now people in black are following
black vehicles.
It's not Johnny Cash.
Oh no!
Right,
I don't think it is anyway.
Well, the thing is, I kind of started feeling like I'm not even joking. I said to you, didn't I? Because I walked quite a bit of my disc journey last night.
You've had quite a bit of trouble.
And I know, but when I was walking home last night, I was mentioned earlier. Do you know when you see right? So I'm walking down this really long street, and I've walked down it loads of times. I've often walked down this street before, and the pavement always felt beneath my feet. But anyway, right? Well, so as I'm looking up the street, I could see silhouettes
of
black figures.
Yeah.
But then when I was getting closer, it wasn't anybody there at all.
Yes.
Yeah. And obviously it's the shadows and the lights playing trick on me. Or was it the Men in Black? Because I was seeing them in pairs. Yeah. So, anyway, we'll
get into that.
Stop following us. Come in, have a cup of tea. Yeah. We'll make you a brew. I'm quite happy to, have a chinwag with you.
Yeah.
You can tell us about your government conspiracy plans and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Give us some gossip, some information.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we won't tell anyone.
Yeah,
promise.
No.
Promise. Shh.
No, we only tell our patrons everything.
Yeah, we do tell our patrons everything. Yeah, do you know what I mean? If you want to become in the know, and we've got secret episodes and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
We've actually got quite a lot. Do you know we've got a bit of a backlog of Patreon stuff that we need to put up?
Yes.
We need more Patreons.
Well, yeah.
So if you want extra content, then you know where to go.
Yes.
As little as £1.
Yeah.
But anyway, we digress. We're going to get more into the Men in Black. We've got a variety of different stories. From the origins of the phenomenon to kind of just really good and freaky stories.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say so much of the history, but the first encounters.
Well, some people are claiming there's a bit of history in there, but I'm gonna fight the corner on that.
Fight the power.
Not being,
all right. Fair.
Yeah.
Well, we'll discuss that a bit later on.
Yes, we will.
Before then, is there anything else you want to say before we move on into the news?
I think we should move on to the news.
All right.
Yeah.
No worries.
I'm happy with that. I'm just glad to be on the internet again.
Exactly. Hey, do you know what the influx of WhatsApp messages, like memes that came through when your internet came back on? It was hilarious. So, right, okay, well, we're going to go into the news.
I can live without it.
We're going to have to go into the news in a minute, first of all.
Yeah.
So, you moved house, didn't you?
Yeah.
And this is why you had no internet.
My provider gave me an issue, didn't tell me about the issue, so I had to ring up and ask about the issue, and it turned into a longer issue. And so
whenever I move, I always make sure that my internet's the first thing that's connected. Literally, it'll be in the day I move in. I can't be dealing with...
Oh, no, because I needed
no
the
coverage
until the day after I had moved.
Right.
So...
wait, the day I move. Yeah, I want it in.
Well, I said to him at least till 6 o'clock, so they went, well, what about until the next day? And I went, all right, as long as there's no issues. And I set the contract that there was no issues between that time. And obviously there was, so I've got to contact him back and have a little fucking word with him.
But is it on now, yeah?
It is on now, yeah.
Good.
It seems to be working fine. I had a little issue at the beginning, but...
How long... Do you know what? Again, do you know we were talking quickly, again, before we go into the news?
Yeah.
Do you know we were talking about, nationalised internet?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was listening to this other podcast from Australia.
Okay.
And they were... apparently, Australia have a nationalised internet. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and if it, and this is Australia, I think they're quite organised in terms of getting shit done in that respect.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
But the problem is, it's pretty shit. Yeah,
Ooh.
It's not. They've pumped loads of money into it, and it's not the best. Right. Australians are saying that basically it wasn't as fast as they were promised.
Yeah.
Right. And now 5G's come out, it's kind of overtaken it.
Yeah.
So now they've got to put more money into it to get the infrastructure up to their specifications, and by that point, it'll be the next one. So it's like, where are Britain going to stand in this? Do you know, in terms of trying to get a similar thing up and running?
I think they're just going to go a wire.
I just think they've got better money. Huawei.
Yeah.
Oh, but aren't they kind of being?
Yeah, but America's
being under scrutiny for a certain, basically data transfer and stuff.
Yeah, but our government seems to turn around and go, everything you've said, we've checked them out, and they seem to be all right, actually. And it's like, hold on.
Well,
I'm not
buying
it's
that.
like, I'm not buying it either, but, I just want to get this bloody Brexit out of the way first before we deal with all that
this
stuff.
Is it, isn't it? Right, anyway.
I think it's news time.
It will be.
It will
I've not got enough hands.
You're struggling a bit there.
Well, do you know when your computer locks?
Yeah.
And then you have to go and put your bloody password in again.
Well, open the timer for a little longer.
It's timer, yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, wise Taylor.
Yeah.
Right, well, in that respect, it's time for the news.
Yeah.
It's the news. Yeah, so there you go. And do you know what? All that build-up. Yeah. All that build-up, and that was it. Yeah, right. Well, that wasn't all the news, but have you got anything you want to talk about? I'll let you start this week.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll start with the business with Prince Andrew. He's had his interview.
Yeah, so I've heard bits and pieces about this, and basically, I think... I
haven't even seen it yet. I've tried...
I've not seen it, but I've heard what people have had to say about it.
Yeah.
I think
interpretations from.
I think it's left people with more questions than answers.
Yeah.
And I think he's fucked it.
He's digging himself a big
hole.
Bigger,
I think that there's a lot more kind of to go on this. I think this is going to turn into something.
I'm hoping.
I think the Queen was saying that it was a good idea for him to go and kind of fess up or have this interview.
Yeah,
I think after the interview, because apparently he was in pretty high spirits the next day.
Yeah,
he's gone to church. Yeah,
all right.
And and he's basically turned around to the Queen and said, "Well, I felt like it went well and." Kind of optimistic about the whole thing, and no, I don't think it went down well at all. I think a lot of journalists and a lot of kind of people have got a lot more questions that's raised from this interview. I need to watch it because, like I say, I can't really have much of a personal opinion. This is all gauged on stuff that I've kind of seen and read.
Yeah, from what I've heard.
And you can't always, gauge it. I'd have to kind of see it for myself.
Yeah.
So when was it on?
It was on, actually, last week when we were doing this.
Oh, was it? Last Saturday? Well, it must be on line somewhere, so I'm going to have to dig that out tomorrow, I think, and have a watch.
The BBC one, but
do you think?
Not going on there, yeah.
No, I don't do the BBC.
I don't do iPlayer now. Fuck that shit.
Well, I don't,
We don't deal with them dodgy agencies.
Yeah, don't as well. That's it, isn't it? It's like we said last week in terms of scandal.
Yeah.
But anyway,
scandals everywhere. Anyway.
So go on. What? Anything else you want to add to that, or?
Well, I've. Did you see the Prince and the Pedo on Channel 4? That come out,
the princess,
called Prince and the Pedo,
as in the Princess and the Pea, the old kind of fairy story.
As in the Pedo.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's a play on that, isn't it? Because there's the story about the mattresses, and they put a pea. She couldn't get comfortable in the pea, because the pea was under the mattress.
Yeah,
and it's definitely a play on that.
Yeah,
but obviously, some smart ass who's obviously went to university, right? And then we sat in a room and went, Prince and the Pedo. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Right,
that's a headline.
Yeah.
And then he still, fucking well done.
Yeah. He done a classic one there.
It's classic. It was fucking pretty. It's like something you'd scroll in a textbook at school.
Yeah. Well, Channel 4 did a pretty good job on it, actually.
Was it Channel 4?
Yeah, it was Channel 4 News, basically. I think it was Panorama. It come on.
Do you know why it's a very Channel 4 title, isn't it?
Yeah. But I thought it had
pull no punches.
Good information in there. And that.
Yeah, Channel 4 documentaries generally do, I feel.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was a point where they kind of they went off the rails a bit, and they just kind of covered. They went out and did the randomest fucking documentaries.
They still go off on their their levels of we agree to this, where they're supposed to be impartial, but you can see him going over to one side, going, oh no, Boris, oh no, he's a bad man, or Trump, he's a bad man. We all agree, and then it's hold on, where's your evidence?
What's happening? Oh, is it what's happening with Trump at the minute?
Oh yeah,
I know because he's
still inquiries, and it says there's about 7 people or something that's turned up.
So what do you
still all hearsay.
What do you think about it?
I think it's going to be nothing at the end of it. To be honest, I think it's going to be a waste of time and effort. All they're trying to do. And
we're ones to be talking about wasting time and effort.
They're trying to stop Trump in 2020.
You know
this is what it's all about.
Yeah, of course it is. That's what this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's like trying to pit your enemy.
The enemies want to try and pit
them to the post, isn't it? They want to kind of get. They want to make them look bad, so the constituents, vote for them.
Yeah.
They don't want to be.
I don't think it's working. I think the people like.
Have you ever seen that film, The Campaign, with is it Will Ferrell?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah, it's like a political party race where they kind of just trying to, discredit each other one.
Yeah, yeah.
I seductively
and it's all on sponsors' money.
Message.
Yeah, and it's a waste of money. Well, they should be just bringing out the proper information and none of this bullshit. You know what I mean? But it's a witch hunt. And everyone knows it's a witch hunt.
For witches.
Yeah, and I think after all this and 2020 comes up, he wants to put his boot down. He wants to put his boot down and try and put more on stopping all this shit, all this bullshit that's supposed to be going around. You used to have respect for your leaders, but I don't blame the people that they don't respect the leaders no more, because the leaders have been fucking and shanking us for God knows how long.
Fucking and shanking.
Yeah. We've been bent over the table for far too long, and we need to stand up and put our back into it.
Oh, my days. I can't look at it.
Stop all this.
I was just looking for the next story.
Because
these are sorry.
Yeah, this is...
There's some... There's just... Every time I look at it, I just can't stop laughing, but I can't look at it, honestly.
It's a freaky little beast, man. What the fuck is this about? And...
Oh my God!
This
hilarious.
is just. If you could see what I could see right now, you'd freak your knickers out.
Right. Okay. Oh my God!
A close up. That's even worse.
Right.
Go on, tell the viewers a story.
If I can keep a straight face. Right.
I don't know how you can.
Following reports in the New York Post. Right.
This
is the first time I've lost professionalism on the podcast. I'd swear. Right. Okay. So. They've found this statue, right, in a church, and it's supposed to be
Lord and Savior,
an effigy of Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, or Jeebus, as some people know him.
They ain't no Jesus Christ.
And do you know Buddy Christ when in Dogma? Right, Buddy Christ was kind of like this kind of, hey, done he really pop?
Yeah.
Done he pop? Yeah. And it was like, Buddy Christ's quality, right? Yeah. But it looks, basically it's Phil Collins.
Yeah.
1980s Phil Collins. Days. Yeah, right. And I'm not even joking.
It's
every
an ugly little thing.
It's an ugly little thing.
I'll tell you what, if your wife gave birth to that, you'd slap her and push it back in.
So a new statue of baby Jesus in Mexico is certainly raising a few questions. It's nearly 22 feet tall and weighs 143 stone. Yeah, the statue stands in a church centre in Mexico. And I'm not even joking. I'm going to tweet it because it's
a
seriously
little thing.
I loved your joke earlier though, because he goes, we were just laughing about how kind of.
Oh yeah, saying like, look at that little freaky fucking thing. That's
and that
ugly.
Statues and fucking not that very good looking either.
Yeah,
so I think.
Oh, myself.
Oh, that was good. So yeah, I just thought that it was funny and worth a mention. Check it out.
I'm going to be sick in a minute if you carry on.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to. Do you know what? It was only talking about.
What the fuck's under his tit?
He's got ribs.
It's like he's got 3 tits there.
He's got abs
underneath each other. No, they ain't abs. Abs are underneath that.
Jesus has got abs. We all know it.
That's some freaky little thing.
Right. Okay.
Freaky.
So there's been a lot of weird things happening this week. Anything else happening on your end?
Election.
Oh, I don't care about elections.
Don't care.
No, because I'm not going to vote.
This could be one of the most
voting.
important elections.
Well, who's all right then? Who can I vote for? Go on, give me the rundown.
Right, let's see. Let's go for Conservatives.
Nah.
Right, they've got a deal. They'll get us out within the next, by the next deadline.
They've just they've strung us along to fuck.
Well, no, that's only because of people like
we had a pussy fucking prime minister who ran away when the going got tough.
Well, she turned around and went, "Hey, what do you want us to do?"
I'm not talking about Theresa May. I'm talking about Cameron.
Cameron. Oh well, yeah.
And then
he just ran
away. Then we've literally not had a solid prime minister who we voted for on that party since Cameron. right? And that was a while ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, so a whole term,
4 years.
virtually a whole term. Yeah. Right. Then with Labour fucked us up in the 90s, and I don't think that people remember that. Yeah, and people go, we were never so rich when we were in the 90s.
Yeah, living under
a Labour government, and it's like, well. Yeah, because they were fucking gambling away
spending all our money.
Yeah, right, and putting everything and just encouraging people to put it on credit.
Oh yeah.
So, and like you say, at first I was like, we kind of need a conservative government to kind of make those hard decisions and kind of tighten the purse strings to get us back on track. Yeah. But now I don't believe in either one of them. Yeah, because I think they both made bad decisions.
Yes.
They both fucking fucked up.
For years.
I mean, the UK government's never been in this. Well, it's not been in this badder shape for a very long time.
I never saw many people watching it either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're very under close scrutiny. But then it seems like this whole Brexit debacle. It seems like so these like 5 offices say working in this for the party, and it's like each one of them going, well, I hope they sort it out because it's not my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next department saying, well, I hope they sort it out because it's not our problem either.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then for 3 years, it's gone round and round.
Yeah.
And then, it's like even the deal, apparently, well, is it kind of majority of Theresa May's deal anyway?
Yeah, 90% of it is Theresa May's, and he's just changed basically 10%.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's a deal, I think.
Well, that's what I mean. And you're saying it's a worse deal.
Yeah.
So... what was the big problem with going with Theresa May's deal in the first place?
Because it basically guaranteed them 39 billion plus it still put us under control. I
understand it had something to do with the backstop and all that. Yeah.
But it still meant that basically they would have control of our markets until the 27 countries decided that we could do what we wanted, basically. If we wanted to leave it, then we can't until they had the power in their hands, basically.
We should just leave on Christmas Day, give us all the nice presents.
On this one, there's been more power given to Europe, and it solves the Northern Ireland business slightly, but it still puts a border between us and Ireland. All in all, which Northern Ireland doesn't want, which I don't blame them, but we need to work. So people are going to have to take on board stuff that they're not going to really like at the end of the day, or that there's no way the deals can go through, and yet we need to get back our sovereignty so we can sort our country out, deal with the people
we know
supposed
why.
to be.
We know why we need to do it, but it's the point that I think for most people, it's the fact that everyone voted for it. It's a case of that people wanted it, and it's taken, this long for any action to be taken. Do you know what I mean?
Biggest amount of people voted as well ever in an election.
Yeah. So I mean, I think more people are bothered that it doesn't.
It basically says if they don't do it, then. Whatever we say, whatever we want,
there's no such thing.
There's no such thing because they're going to take charge and do what they want.
There's no point in us having things like referendums, is there? Because it's like, well, what does it accomplish?
We might as well. Like.
Anyway.
You know what I mean. It's fucking. And the Lib Dems, they say as soon as they walk in, they're going to move Article 50, which goes against the rules anyway, because they haven't been voted to. Well, actually. No, it might not, actually, because if they get voted in, which I very much doubt,
but that's what I'm saying.
They will take Article 50 and it will start
a two-horse
race. War in this country.
It's a two-horse race, and it's just exactly like the South Park vote between a douche and a turd sandwich.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So it's like, well, who do you vote for between a douche and a turd sandwich?
Brexit Party.
Well, no, who are they?
The Brexit Party, they're the only ones that instead of a manifesto saying, which... manifesto means now is lies, which if I turn around and said I will do this, this and this for you, and you voted me on it and I didn't do it.
Brexit Party doesn't mean anything to me because right, okay. So
he's put a legal contract.
Yeah, but they're just saying we'll get Brexit done. But again, I've said this before. It's like what you're going to do after the fact. We need fucking a good government afterwards.
Yeah.
We need a party that's kind of nobody wants to hear Brexit. So what you're going to do? You're going to get Brexit out of the way and then remain the Brexit party.
No,
nobody wants to hear that.
Well, the party name will be changed, and it will turn into a.
So all right then. So what happens when the Brexit party they change the name to something really fucking like militant and like they're gonna rule you like.
Well, they ain't gonna do that.
Yeah. Well, how do you know? How do you know they don't change the name to something fucking really radical?
If they did do that, then at least. And
then you're all like, shit, we voted for these guys.
Well, it's better that than them turning around and saying, I'm the Labour, but I'm going to really be the Conservatives underneath.
We Kill Small Dogs Party. That's what they changed the name to. And then
but
you're like...
but you know what I mean? Who's going to vote for that? Yeah, all right.
Exactly, but nobody did. They voted for the Brexit Party.
It's a bad idea
It's a bad idea.
But anyway. It'd be another political party, and actually Farage won't be.
I don't like Farage either.
He's not even going to be an MP.
Good.
He's an MEP, but he's not going to be an MP. He's basically going to be behind the lines, like pulling strings. But I've got to say, out of all of them I watched and seen, and even people have turned around to him and said, like, on one of the shows that
there was a first time ever.
Racist, and
it was a first,
what's it like?
This is how much of a two-horse race there is. They didn't even invite Lib Dems or any other party to the
No, they did.
The talk. No, it was literally just fucking.
This is how it went. Tuesday, it was Conservative Labour.
Right.
On Wednesday, it was on Tuesday as well. It was Farage on BBC One.
On his own,
Wednesday,
arguing with himself.
On Wednesday, it was the Lib Dems, Labour, Conservatives, and I think it was NS, the Scottish
and the Monster
Party.
Raving Loony Party.
And there's a couple of more coming up.
Do they think they ever get invited to any of these?
Who?
The Monster Raving Loony Party?
No.
Are they still going?
I don't think they're going now.
What about
I heard
the Green
he wasn't
Party?
going.
Do the Green Party
Yeah,
get
they're
invited?
going. Yeah.
All right, cool.
They're joint up with the Lib Dems.
I mean, Green Party, they've got a lot of good policies as well, to be fair.
Yeah, they have.
What? I might go for the Green Party.
Well, you know what?
Year.
Every day I've woke up last week, there was a different political party live on the news.
Right, okay.
Giving their manifesto or what they're going to talk about. And I still, out of all of them, it's got to be Farage because of what he's done. He's put it in legal contents. He's instead of it being...
Mate, I was talking to this guy the other day and he was telling me that we've got to vote for Labour because Corbyn, he's a normal guy. He makes his own jam. Right, he said he makes his own jam, and he wouldn't let me. I was like, no. He was like, he's got an allotment. He makes his own jam, man. He makes his own jam. And then when he even turned around to him in Boris Johnson, and he said, "What sort of gift would you give me?" or something, and he said, "I'd give you a pot of damson jam." Yeah, and it's like this is the type of fucking idiots.
Yeah, if he gets in, he's going to go to Europe, get a new deal within 3 months, come back and then put a referendum out and go against it. What the fuck is that about, you dickhead? That's all I've got to say on that front.
Anyway,
so it's got to be either Conservatives or Lib Dems, and not Lib Dems. Fucking hell, not the Lib Dems.
The Brexit.
It's got to be Conservatives or the Brexit Party. The Brexit Party, I don't think are going to be around my ways. Yeah. It's got to be Conservative. Yeah, because I want to leave. I want my sovereignty. I want us to actually take control of our
I'm going to spoil my
country.
ballot. So if you don't know what that means, go to the ballot place.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that. Do you know why?
No. Because if enough people out there, spoil their ballot and go in and tick every box, cross every box, and post it in, it sends a fucking very good message to the government because it suggests that the majority of the UK, don't want any of them. Don't want any of them. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then if there's no more than if there's not 50%, then it don't calculate right. I think they have to do it again.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Now, this is the problem: is if Conservatives get in again as the majority, but don't have enough people, and we're still stuck in this fucking funny fucking system.
A funny fucking what? A funny fucking system.
Yeah. then the only other opportunity, the only other two things he can do is have another election, which the people I doubt will go for again, and you're spunking too much money over fuck all. And the final thing they can be able to do was have another referendum, and that I don't want again. But
nobody wants that.
No one wants it again, or what they like to call the people's vote. No, we've had the people's vote.
Work. Well.
Does it mean 3 years down the line do we do it again and then again?
It
and
makes
then again?
me feel like they're just trying to make us all bored with it.
Labour,
so we go, fuck it. Do you know what? Forget the whole thing.
Stop it.
Forget it.
That's what it's about, and they need to fucking stop it.
Yeah.
They signed up to say that they agreed to whatever the people voted for, and they're going against that. So you know what? Fuck them. Fuck them, man. I'd never go Labour again. Not under this regime.
That's what I mean. I don't fancy.
And I've always been a Labour voter as well.
Anyway, let's move on. Enough politics.
Yeah, enough on politics.
Fucking hell, sick of politics.
Yeah.
Anyway, and do you know what else I'm going to be sick of in a couple of weeks' time?
What?
Christmas.
I'm sick of it now.
Yeah, well, the Christmas holiday ads have already started.
Oh, they started like
marking. I know, yeah, we're marking the festive feelings and the festive season. So, what's your favourite Christmas ad?
None.
Everyone makes a big deal.
Blank screen, that's what I like.
Everyone makes a big deal of like the John Lewis. And Coca-Cola is a big one, isn't it?
Oh,
and since...
Coco's been doing it for years. Well, Coca-Cola
invented Christmas.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
I did.
They invented the whole... They invented the whole concept of the red suit, Santa Claus. They invented... the fact that he wears a red suit, in fact, because he used to wear a green suit, didn't he?
Yeah.
And so Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola truck rolling in, apparently marks the start of Christmas, right? So, but that is such a big capitalist...
I think he was an elf with a little bit of a hype problem.
It's mega capitalist sort of... It's slap in the face, I think. It's like, hey, check us... We're the biggest sort of soft drink manufacturer in the world, We invented Christmas, and we tell you when Christmas starts by sending our Christmas truck out, Then they're putting the adverts on. But...
You know, I haven't seen a Coca-Cola advert
I've seen one, but the thing is, I've seen a lot of different adverts. So, Aldi have got an advert out.
What
else? Is that a little dragon or something?
Yeah.
Then, you've got...
setting fires.
Walkers
have got one. Have you seen that with Mariah Carey? Yeah. She's never ate a crisp in her fucking life. She's probably took a bite of that and gone, I better put on £10 if I eat another one of these.
McDonald's have actually got an advert, a Christmas advert. Animated Christmas advert. And it just seems like they've all cottoned on to this sort of...
a bit late, but...
Putting
better than never.
Well, having a Christmas sort of magical advert where they're delivering stuff, and John Lewis, Marks and Spencers, they've all been doing it for years, haven't they?
They all like to spend our money on.
They spend quite a lot of money on these advertisements, but I mean, literally, we're going to be inundated with Christmas adverts.
We already are. It's not fucking Christmas yet.
But it's
not even in December yet.
I know, we're not even in December yet, right? But it's crazy because obviously supermarkets, they'll... we talked about supermarkets and the psychology of supermarkets a while ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
The point is that they want you to spend your money in their store, right? So as soon as... And they always have festive aisles as well, right?
Yeah.
So obviously when one season finishes, so it's Easter... then you've got summer, which is all your kind of like drinks
early now.
Deck chairs, and obviously you've got like potted plants and you know, garden supplies.
Yeah.
Then you go into
all you growers out there.
Halloween. Then you get into Halloween.
Yeah.
Then you've got Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got all these kind of God, and not to mention Valentine's Day and all the rest of them. So they've always got
the rabbit
season.
one.
The Easter.
Easter, that's the fella.
So they've always got some sort of... as soon as Christmas is over, Easter eggs are in.
Yeah. They're in like 2 months before they used to be in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, what the fuck? But then if people are going to go out there and buy it that early, they're going to sell it that early with more of a price.
Don't you think it almost...
Why don't you do it all year round?
Kills it for you.
Eh? It does kill it.
Because by the time Christmas comes, it's just like,
you've got to spend more fucking money.
Well,
you've got to go out, you've got to work your ass off so you can buy a chocolate bar so your kids
we
are
were
happy.
talking about Black Friday and, not even Black Friday anymore because it's Cyber Monday as well.
It's like a fucking week now. It'll be a month next year. You know what I mean? It's like, it's money. I want your money, I want your money. But I sort of don't blame the shops because they've been having a bad time over the last couple of years.
Electronics you need to buy? Go in. It's
been losing out the last couple of years, but they're trying to take over everything all at once and it only lasts so long and then boom.
Well, yeah, of course. So, I mean, obviously, it's a way of combating online. It started as a way of combating online.
Yeah.
Bringing footfall into stores. But now the online market's, doing. They do big deals as well because they're cutting out that middleman.
Yeah, they can do massive
They can
deals
do bigger
the
deals on Black Friday than thingy do. But I think obviously it's a safer way. I just think that like you saying, they're trying to get rid of old stock.
Yeah,
and the people rushed and it was causing riots at one point, weren't it?
Injuries,
with these Black Fridays deals, fighting in supermarkets and
over little
department stores over fucking toasters.
Yeah,
and then they start letting only a few people in at a time. But it's like, well, why are you going mad for all these things? Where it's like, well, was you going out to buy a toaster, or was you going out to buy a TV, or was it just because you saw it at a reasonable price that you thought, I'll have one of them just because it's cheap? Yeah. It's like you're fighting over things.
Psychology again.
Yeah, of course. It's like it doesn't even feel like if it was something that you wanted and you were going to buy it anyway,
that's
then
fair
go
enough.
down and it's fair enough because you wanted to go and get a toaster oven for 20% off because you were going to buy one anyway.
Yeah.
But to go down and then fight someone over a toaster oven that you didn't really want, it just feels fucking like, I think it brings out the very worst in humanity.
I totally agree, and the reason why I totally agree is because it's the like I said, the psychology bit. Now the thing is, if you have a group of people, it's sort of like I can't remember what the word is. It's sort of like when you've got a group of people and you have
tribal.
Sort of. When you have 5% of them deciding to do something, everyone else follows. No matter what it is, sense. The majority, the rest of the people
it's like
will
socially
follow
accepted, isn't it? Yeah.
So then, if you've all done it together, you're not all, we're not all.
It's a combination of peer pressure, and then it becomes societally accepted, and then after that,
cricket and the locust thing.
It becomes the norm.
Yeah, because crickets on their own are all right, but when they group up together, they get frustrated, and that's how you get into them kind of. Roaches.
Those kind of situations.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need
and
a
then
drink.
They decide to destroy all the crops and fuck everything. I'll fucking do what I want.
How did we get from Christmas to wild locusts fucking?
Because well, not fucking, but destroying everything because they're all grouped up together. They're all hungry, they're all agitated, and then they change.
And that's what it's like at Christmas Day round Taylor's house.
Yeah, well, no, it's more like Black Friday.
Black Friday. I think, obviously, retailers feel like they have to do something.
They don't feel like they've got the responsibility. I don't think they think that's their responsibility.
No, I think
their responsibility is to sell as much shit as possible.
Yeah. And it's like it's probably coming from like their head offices as well. Like, all right,
and it doesn't help society.
You've got a target this month.
So realistically, you're doing as bad for doing all this shit. Sort yourselves out, man. Sort yourselves out.
Anyway, have you got anything else you want to talk about? Anything less angry? You've been on a bit of a rant tonight.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, but I love it.
I do have stuff, but it's like
I just like
everything's
how I think it is.
It's all right.
Yeah, man.
So I've got some NASA news.
Yeah, go for it. I've got some NASA news.
Also, we've got some entertainment news as well.
Oh, have we? Oh.
Yeah, we'll go through. We'll do the entertainment news and then we'll do the NASA news.
Okay.
Right. So entertainment news. Okay, right. So Rick and Morty's back.
Oh, yes.
Hey.
Yeah. I think my brother's getting into it as well now. I heard him.
Is he only just getting into it?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, season 4. If you've not seen it, the first 2 episodes have been hilarious. First episode was I don't know. It was good.
Right, but
no, it was good. It was just a
no. You've still got a but there.
No, but it just felt like a good Rick and Morty episode, but it wasn't like an opener. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like it didn't feel like a premiere.
Well, what did you want him?
I don't know.
Saying at the end, this is the premiere.
Well, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, so I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
But and yes, in fact, that's something very similar at the end of the episode.
On the first one.
Then do you know that episode where it's like, end of season, or beginning of season one, we're 100 years, and all that. Yeah. It was kind of somewhat along them lines, but it was like the episode felt a bit disconnected from. In fact,
still weird shit, though.
In fact, this season so far, it's felt that Rick and Morty haven't been too close.
Okay.
Each episode has been kind of like.
You felt they've been too close over the other episodes.
No, they're not sidekick. They're not being sidekicks as much. They're kind of the last two episodes, which has only been 2 episodes so far. They've been very kind of divided. But not in a bad way.
But could that work for the rest of the episodes? Though?
I don't know.
We'll have to. It could be a reason behind it.
Yeah,
could be. Yeah, you just have to keep watching it, won't you?
Yeah. So, have you seen any good films recently?
No, really. No.
Any good trailers?
It's been a few. We
were laughing earlier because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh yeah, Jungle Man.
Seriously, does he not do any other movies unless he's in a jungle?
Jungle Book, and what was that other one?
There was obviously Jumanji.
Yeah.
The new sequel.
The Christmas one.
The third Jumanji film.
Yeah.
But this second one with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
And obviously there's another jungle film. What was that one?
I can't remember what it was called.
No, but he's done loads of them. He's done absolutely.
Jungle Man.
I think he's trying to impose this action adventure.
Yeah.
I am the.
Well, he's an adventure.
He is an adventure-looking type of guy. Yeah, but is he
trying to be the new Indiana Jones?
Like that's kind of how it is. It like I don't do anything unless I'm sweet. Man, I'm like in a jungle somewhere in a canoe.
Yeah, he has done a lot of jungle stuff. I must admit, I don't know, like, I'm just thinking of a film now. I can't remember what the film was where Stifler was in it.
Which one?
I can't remember the film. It was in Stifler, the one who plays Stifler.
Yeah.
And he was going for a diamond or something somewhere in the jungle.
Where was he in the jungle?
Yeah.
Do you know? In fact, I'm going to see how many Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson films there has actually been where
involved.
He's been in the jungle.
Yeah, he might feel at home in the jungle. Could he be Sasquatch, like Shaven?
No.
Shaven Bigfoot?
He was a part of a Bigfoot
he's the smallest
clan,
of the family.
And then he was like, Mom, I'm going to Hollywood to make my fortune.
Yeah, and look where he is now.
Right, so we've got, we're just going to get his IMDb page up, right. Okay, yeah, so he was in Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
He was.
The Journey 2, both jungle, the mysterious jungle, whatever.
Yeah.
What else? Let me see.
What's that? That's jungle, isn't it? That's what you just done.
This one. Moana.
Moana's
an animated Disney movie. It's in Hawaii.
Yeah. Jungle's in Hawaii,
What else has he been in? Jungle Cruise.
Oh, there you go.
This is ridiculous. Jumanji: The Next Level, which is just about to come out.
One coming out Christmas, man.
Anything else?
So what? No, it's Jumanji again.
See, I mean, recently.
Yeah.
In recent years,
he has done a few.
He's done a fair few chilling in the jungle movies. Yeah. Well, I want to see what's next.
He'd probably do Jungle Book.
But they've been milked.
Yeah, but come on, they've got no clever ideas.
Oh, it could be like
really.
the mysterious hidden. We could do something like the City of Gold, or
City of Atlantis,
or the City of Atlantis, where he has to trek through some jungle, to try and find.
Trek through Africa or something.
Anyway, Dwayne The Rock Johnson coming back for a bit more.
Yeah, Jungle Near You.
Jungle Love.
Yeah.
In what's it in Jumanji, The Next Level.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see it. Actually, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
What have I been watching? I watched a really funky series on Netflix, and the cast was really good as well. It was called Final Space. Yeah, season 1 is on Netflix, and season 2 actually starts tomorrow on Netflix. It's being added.
Yeah.
And the first 2 episodes were a bit kind of hit and miss. I was kind of contemplating should have turned this off or should have
give it a go.
Yeah, but then like as the storyline developed, it kind of got me. Yeah, and I kind of got sucked in, and I kind of really looking forward to season 2 now. So. It's called, and as I'll give you another thing as well, right? It does help when the main character's named after you. So, like, yeah,
he was named after you.
Yeah, well, not named after me, but he was my namesake.
Yeah.
So that was cool, and it was a sci-fi sort of space, sort of bit kind of Star Wars Rebel Resistance sort of thing.
Right, okay.
David Tennant. Plays the baddie. He voices the main villain.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Yeah, if you've not seen it, it's called Final Space, and he's a bit of a kind of a I'd say Pokemon, but a kind of a anime manga.
Pokemon.
No, but it's like a little kind of sidekick alien that he kind of befriends. But it's
right. So he's got a little mate.
Yeah, but it looks a bit kind of like
freaky,
like a bit of a kind of Japanese sort of manga.
Character.
Character.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But like, do you know one of these little Pikachu-y type cute?
Yeah. So then piss it off and it turn into a monster.
Or it's a planet killer or something.
Fucking what?
A planet killer. Yeah,
right.
Like
you want one of them as your best mate.
That's what I mean. So it's like, it's pretty good. Definitely recommend that. It's on Netflix and season 2 starts on Sunday. It's called Final Space.
So I'll go and watch it. I've been watching Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
Yeah,
I've
been
awesome.
Going all the way through that again.
Yeah. You've been watching it again?
Yeah.
I might do that.
I haven't seen the last series yet, but I think it's halfway through at the moment. But I've been watching it on telly. It's been all right, actually.
I think Peaky Blinders is it's one of those shows that it's pretty decent.
Yeah,
it's one of them ones that where
blindsided at certain points, or they want to try and blindside you that something's happened, and all of a sudden, bang! You just got a surprise. Actually, this happened instead.
Yeah.
Didn't know about this.
Well,
I do like it. I like the way it's been done, and it's the last one as well. Number 4.
Yeah.
Shame.
This is a bit of a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
But like I say, Peaky Blinders, it's one of those shows where it's like you never know what's going to happen. It's very suspenseful.
Yeah.
Very well kind of
casted.
It's well cast.
Yeah.
And it's also like the cinematography is amazing.
Yeah.
Always kind of, it's like watching photographs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very well shot.
Yeah, definitely.
What else? There's been a couple of things.
I think the storylines have been brilliant.
Oh yeah,
absolutely smashing the storylines.
Did you see that trailer for the new? And I said like it was a bit Peaky Blinders. Well, it was a bit Peaky Blinders meets Goodfellas, but also trying to have a bit of.
What was that?
It was the new Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
Oh yeah,
film.
Yeah. I felt it was more. I don't know, like the old gangster movies.
Yeah,
but
of course,
then
like Goodfellas and Godfather.
But bringing the story back and forth.
It was good. I mean, they've used the de-aging techniques to kind of
they're
bring...
looking well old, man.
Yeah, there's points in the film where they look really old, but then points where they look really young.
Yeah, they've done good job.
But some of on the trailer, I wasn't amazingly impressed with some of it. I think some of it looked a bit kind of... like they'd been on Botox, so there wasn't very much movement in the cheeks and chin. Yeah. But, never mind.
For like kind of action, like it's got the action, it's got the suspense, it's got all the drama and all that bad looks of things. I think it'd be a really good film.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see it.
What would you say your overall best action movie was?
Oh, you can't say something like that because you've got to have it in in sci-fi, comedy, action.
Good action movie with a good villain.
A good action movie, a good film. There's
and a good hero.
A good hero. I like I like good villains. Like I love Bane.
I'm not a fan of Bane.
I didn't like Bane. Bane was in.
Hello, Batman.
But I also like. I was going to say Maserati then. Sherlock Holmes' arch enemy.
Oh, Maserati.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny, actually. What is he called?
I'm trying to think now.
Moriarty.
Moriarty, that's
Professor Moriarty.
I like his style. I like his
what he's like on par with his genius.
Yeah, I like the way he does things behind and he's like 10 steps in front.
I'd say one of my favourite movie villains is Hans Gruber from Die Hard, which was played by Alan Rickman. Yeah,
right.
And he's just so fucking subtle. Yeah, with he's great anyway. But Die Hard, I'd say was one of my top action movies. And I watched something recently that was pretty good. Yeah. It's called Game Over, Man. Yeah, and it's a movie, a Netflix film again. Yeah,
okay.
Using the Netflix a little bit lately. But yeah, Game Over, Man. It's a Netflix original film. It was a kind of Die Hard-esque film, but it was about these guys who the waiters or bellhops or whatever work for the hotel.
Yeah.
And it gets taken over in a siege situation, and they're like, kind of, can we take them?
Yeah,
like play a lot of video games. So like the kind of but the it's like, oh, you got to kill.
No.
I'm getting the next one and all this. A bit kind of, it was a spoof, if you like, but it was good. I enjoyed it as a kind of one of them. It was a raunchy comedy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd recommend that if you
do like Hitman as well. Out. I like the first one better than the second one, but the second one had more technology.
Was that a gate over? Was that's based on a game?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hitman, I thought so, but I mean, I'm not a big fan of
love that
game adaptations of movies.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, I know what you're on about there, but then with that, then you shouldn't have X-Men. Would you not?
No, because that's a comic book. It's adapted
from. Been adapted to both.
No, because there's a difference between adapting a written property from a game property. I mean, in a game, it's like they don't generally take from the actual kind of story.
Yeah, you've got to really make up your own idea of the storyline. Maybe you do get certain bits of information, but you don't get the backtrack of all their information.
Exactly. I mean, I know most games have a kind of a story, a story mode, and a kind of a backstory to the characters.
Yeah,
but
it's only a tiny bit considering in films. You get that.
The best for me anyway was Resident Evil. In terms of game thingy, but then even by the last one, it started looking like a game with levels. Do you know, where they'd be like, oh, it's all these levels in this building represent different scenarios where the zombie virus would have, outbroke, like in Tokyo or something.
True, but have you ever seen that Need for Speed?
Have you got
the film?
The Need for Speed? No.
Shit.
That's what I'm saying.
It was
Street Fighter.
Bobbins,
shit.
Mate.
What else? Other games? Sonic the Hedgehog's about to come out.
Fuck off.
Yeah, have you not seen the trailer for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
You're right. You're
with
pulling
Jim
my
Carrey
there.
Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik.
What the?
It's got another actor in it because obviously Sonic needs a male,
dominated actor,
like an actor to bounce off and have a bit of dialogue with.
Yeah.
The first original kind of Sonic trailer they released wasn't received very well. Basically, everybody said the 3D model of Sonic was pretty shit. Right. And they went, pulled it, and then redeveloped the character and had to basically finish the film with a new model. And they've released a new trailer now, which I think a lot more people are kind of taking a bit more positive.
Okay.
Sonic looks a bit more classic. I think everyone of my age certainly sketched a Sonic as a kid, drew there was a couple of characters that I learned to draw in primary school or junior school.
You
draw a Ninja Turtle.
Kids doing that.
Yeah. Ninja Turtles, Sonic.
Yeah, I was into the Ninja Turtles.
Cool Spot. Yeah, because it were easier. They were kind of like drawing Mickey Mouse. Once you got the shape, you could kind of draw it. Well, anyway, you just... I
went for Goofy.
Oh, there you go. You had, everyone had a kind of a character to draw. But Sonic was one that I could draw, and I felt like it was one of the easiest. Because it was a lot of different... Just once you got all those shapes, it was like drawing a Ninja Turtle. So,
good for you.
Fuck you.
No, thanks.
No, what I'm saying is, I think he looks a lot more like what we remember Sonic to be.
Yeah.
And these,
So it must have been really bad then. The first
it was terrible. Yeah, and then the
nowhere near what he should have looked like.
No, I'll show you the trailer in a bit.
Yeah.
If you've not seen it, go and Google it. Well, I'm telling the audience as well, or the listeners, if you've not seen the Sonic trailer.
Go on, go out and have a laugh.
Oh, yeah, wait. Well, it kind of does look all right. I mean...
Would you watch it?
It's a Sunday afternoon film, innit? I mean, it's a family film, and I'm sure the kids will love it. Yeah. It's one of those... I mean, I'm not going into it going, right, this best be super serious, and I best get, some sort of... It's not going to win an Oscar, is it?
Genre kind of thing, doesn't it? It needs to stay in its own section.
Yeah. Well, like I say, in terms of like, if they can get away with the Emoji Movie, I'm pretty sure they can get away with doing a Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yeah,
but it's one of them where it'll come and go, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like most things.
Let it be. Let it do what it's doing.
Yeah, but then it might turn out like that fucking Frozen and come back again. You know what I mean? We don't want it like a boomerang. Like when we throw it, we want to throw it like a stick.
Shit, we had an original thought. Oh no! Oh well, let's do it again.
Yeah. Give it 20 years and there'll be another Frozen.
Well, no, there's another one coming. There's already got Frozen 2.
I know there's Frozen 2 coming out, but like when it rests down a little bit, and it'll come back again. Always fucking does.
So, I've got some NASA news.
Go for it,
before we move into the main topic of the Men in Black.
Why?
Yeah. So, NASA have begun testing on an alien hunting underwater rover in the Antarctica this week.
Oh, what?
So, the robot is called the Buoyant Rover Under Ice Exploration, or BRUCE for short.
BRUCE?
It rolls along the bottom of the ice sheet in the polar ocean, scanning for life.
Okay.
So when they say that, it doesn't necessarily mean extraterrestrial.
It should be laughing.
What?
Under there, looking for life.
Well, it's going to find stuff, but it's going to be more kind of oceanic life that we've just never been able to see because we've never been able to survive them harsh environments. But Brucey
seems to have
Brucey has the luck with the ladies, so he's getting down there under the ice sheet.
The brass balls for it.
It's built for hidden subsurface seas, and ice worlds like Europa and the moons of Jupiter. So they're estimating that it's probably going to be kind of developed for those types of explorations. These ocean worlds are most likely places for alien life in our solar system. So obviously, again, life doesn't have to come in a form of humanoid. It could be just as simple as bacteria. And if they find something like an organism underneath the ice where it's because there's a lot of life on planet Earth at those depths that don't even get light. So, so it's like, and light is one of the essential elements of life. So, I mean, it's not even
that's how we put it, but as like we've found out in like the harshest deserts and the furthest places of the earth that life can still live in different kind of environments, even in pools of like poisonous gases. They can live in. I mean, they can even live in radiation, like power stations have some problems with like bacteria that live in there. You know what I mean? So if they can live in that harsh environment, they can live near enough anywhere, and they've proven it by putting stuff into the ISS to test which bacteria would thrive in space and which bacteria wouldn't. And food poisoning went fucking wildfire.
Multiplied like motherfuckers.
It's big, man.
There's some video of this Brucey in action underneath an ice sheet.
Like,
do you know what? It's not too far off having droids, though, is it? Do you know when we're going to have like a little R2-D2 for real?
Oh, yeah.
Got a bit more NASA news. There's a lot been happening in space this week.
Yes.
And plus, I mean, obviously, there's alien stuff happening all over the place. You know,
they're always around, aren't they?
What aliens. The hell? Have a moment.
Noisy there.
God, we're getting bombarded by adverts. Hey, right. So a couple of UFO experts claim that they've spotted an alien vessel docking at NASA International Space Station.
Oh, but do they have the evidence?
They've got footage.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so footage of the strange incident was captured by NASA on its live stream service.
Right, okay, right.
Right, so images from the live stream clip were first captured by the YouTube channel, Street Cat 1. According to the owner of the channel, the footage was captured by the ISS cameras that were mounted on the outside of the station, and it was streamed via the NASA webcams before the video was cut off standard behaviour for NASA. And Street Cat 1 obviously noted the footage was captured in 2014.
Big shout out to Street Cat 1, man.
Big fan.
Yeah.
In the images of a strange elongated object, you can see that it's attached to the ISS base, and the image of this mysterious object is a smooth surface and almost featureless design, and its overall appearance clearly indicates that it's not part of the ISS, since the design of the two are very different.
I think I've seen this.
So we'll post the images on the website.
We will. Yeah.
Because obviously you'd want to see it.
Oh,
but,
is that it?
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
I think so.
Seen this. No.
So I'm just trying to get there.
Oh.
So
right. Okay.
It is something a bit different. I think people would agree.
Joking. What the?
No, I think that's.
No, that looks like it's a shuttle.
That is a different. Sorry, I think that's one of the wrong images with a shuttle attached. But we do have.
Oh, it looked too clear and
I know.
like
I was going to say that was a beautiful shot if that was the case. But
that first one,
we'll get the images up anyway on the website. But Street Cat 1 as well. If you've not subscribed, go and subscribe.
Yeah, go and have a look, man.
Because obviously they're the truth seekers. They get out there and
they've got their eyes in the sky.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they do a really good search. They really do put the effort in. Got to give it to them.
Indeed. Any other stories before we move on?
Well, there was a big announcement the other day about Voyager 2.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Well, it's left our solar system.
Okay.
Voyager 1 left it about 6 months back. But some interesting things come out of it. That, like how you see the magnetic field around Earth and the sun.
Yeah. I've seen it on a lot of different planets. You know what I mean? Like, do you know when they do that,
like a tail,
track it how it'd be. It's pretty beautiful imagery.
Yeah.
You know, when you see it, kind of, because I always wonder what the Earth would look like under all these sort of filters. Do you know, when you see all of these different waves and transmissions that we put out?
Yeah.
We must be quite a noisy little planet.
Oh, hell yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There must be a lot of different things emanating from us. Yeah. And it'd be interesting to see that in an image. Do you know what I mean? If there's any visual artists out there who've got more time than me, have
a go.
Get it done. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. But, they've left the solar system and they've found some interesting stuff that like
what?
Like 70% of the radiation outside our solar system would be protected from. So the 30% that we've got that's really dangerous, imagine it with the 70% on top of it. So if we didn't have this sort of, we don't know, it's sort of like a magnetic field. I think it's it's basically the sun protecting the whole solar system.
Ooh,
and it's a nice viewing picture actually.
Looks after us, doesn't it?
Yeah, but and it sounds like that it's going to Voyager 2 and Voyager 1. This is going to be our last contact with them.
Right.
It seems, because it's getting harder to actually pick them up and like get the information through. Cause,
how long have they been out there now?
Was it? I think it was 41 years.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because I think the mission was definitely not designed to last that.
No, it was only designed to last. I think it was only designed for about 6 months to a year.
Jesus.
And you know what I mean? It's like...
But it's amazing that they've still been able to keep in contact with it for all this time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But obviously it's got that far out now that...
it's getting harder.
They're just not.
And the actual power in it is supposed to start running out, and plus it hasn't got the any sun radiation no more, because they've left the solar system. That means that the sun has no light contacting it at all.
Yeah, so it can't capture images.
Yeah, but it's got like this dangerous amount of radiation out there that like is, you know, putting the scientists to find out like better stuff. And it also worked out as well because Voyager 1 left earlier and in a different direction, that our magnetic field is not straightforward as we think it is. It's actually a lot bendier and curvier because the time difference when I think it worked out by a couple of days, the time difference was wrong. So it made Voyager 1, when that left at a certain time and could work out when the heavier radiation come in to Voyager 2, who was on the opposite side. And it's not straight. It's giving scientists more questions than answers.
Yeah.
But when you get an answer, you always have a couple of questions behind that answer at all times.
Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Naughty. Very naughty.
Well, there you go. That was this week's NASA news.
Yeah.
And all the other entertainment and regular kind as well.
Yeah.
We're going to be moving on into the main topic. But first of all, if you have got 5 minutes, check out the website, neverastraightanswer.co.uk. Yeah. From there, you can get on Patreon. You can kind of join up. You can check out blogs. Download the podcast as well. It's all there available. And there'll be more to come. In fact, next week we're going to have a few new features to the website as well. You can actually join up and become a member of the site. Leave comments, and you can even obtain special Never a Straight Answer badges for being a loyal member of our website.
Yeah.
Hooray! Yeah. Episode 64. We're talking Never. We're talking out here at Never a Straight Answer. We're talking Men in Black tonight. I think I got flashy thinged there for a minute. I lost where I was.
See, I think a bit of that's deja vu, you know.
Deja vu? We're not in the Matrix.
How do you know?
How do you know?
Can you prove we are? Or can you prove we're not?
Oh, I don't even want to go into that. We've already discussed this. And I can actually.
Go on then.
I can't. No, we've already done it once.
Okay.
I'm not doing it again.
All right then.
I can't remember. I'm talking Men in Black tonight.
Yeah.
So, the first ever incident of the Men in Black, or first alleged incident, was in 1947, and it was with Harold Dahl, and he basically was out in his boat with his. Was he on his own? I think he was.
No, he was
with his mates. Been doing a bit of fishing when they saw 6 donut-shaped crafts in the sky. One of the objects fell apart in midair, and when the debris fell to the ground, it killed his dog.
Yeah, it flown over when it was spreading something all over the boat. It actually
like a sort of a radiation, or something. Well, it killed his dog and hurt his son. With burns.
Yeah, he broke his arm, didn't he?
And he broke his arm. He took photos of reported it to agents.
Yeah.
But then agents in black turned up and took them without warning.
Yeah.
And then basically not say anything about the incident and told him not to say anything about the incident.
Shush your mouth.
So this was called the Marley Island incident, the first encounter. But apparently there's been kind of cases throughout, haven't there?
Yes, there has, and eventually looking more in depth into this case, it turned out that they were actually little liars.
Why? Who was?
Little liars, because the boat got checked, and it ended up being, what was it? It was something like it was something you could just. Oh, it was some kind of metal was being thrown all over it.
Oh, right,
Melted
some sort
metal.
of alloy that didn't belong in our sort of in our world.
But they were, well, no, it ended up being they were questioned and they confessed that they made it up.
Ah, right.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be the first hoax.
Ah, okay. So instead of being the first Men in Black encounter, it turned out to be the first hoax.
Yeah,
but does that mean that like the Slender Man, the Men in Black, were something that was kind of like a bit of a joke that's ended up turning into proper sort of belief people believe in?
From what I remember, the earliest one was 1901 with a shopkeeper who seen a craft. He turned round and started telling people 2 men come out of the desert, and told him not to say anything. The guy disregarded it, and the very next day his shop was burnt, set on fire basically with him in it.
Yeah, well, this is it.
That was the first report I've ever heard of the Men in Black. So,
well, the Men in Black have been popping up for a while. Usually, whenever someone claims that they've had a UFO sighting or had an abduction, or basically start shooting the mouth off about all of these things.
Shouldn't be.
But yeah, so I'm not surprised you've been followed.
Wow.
Myself. But then, obviously they've always got a kind of that same description. A strange man, usually wearing a black suit, black tie, and a white shirt. Can be on his own, but generally in pairs.
Yes.
They never approach, or generally don't approach. Sometimes just stand and watch.
Yeah, they look like each other.
Yeah, do you think they kind
skinny.
of... Now, there's also been kind of different differentiations in the... whether they were human or not. Some people say they were very human-like. Some people say they weren't human-like at all.
Yes.
What do you think? Where's your standing on this?
My standing on this, from what I've been collecting over the years, is that there's 2 groups. There's 2 groups. There's a human lot and there's alien lot. The alien lot are the MIBs, agents. But the other lot are called something else. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think if you ever listened to the other what episode we did on this, I got more information on it there.
Right, okay. I think that was episode 17.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. Nearly 50 episodes away of that.
But yeah. It was quite a while ago, that then, wasn't it?
I know, yeah. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, they're sneaky little fuckers. But yeah, it seems like...
Well, they might have been following us all this time.
You know what? I to be honest, I won't put it past you. But then again, these days you don't have to go. You don't actually have to follow anyone. You could just check where they are.
You could literally do it from
the
comfort of your own home.
Yeah, they're probably sitting behind the desk going, "Oh fucking hell, I wish I remembered when I used to go out there
back on the field, to be back in the field."
Yeah. But then again, sometimes they
no, you are right.
Witnesses.
There was this case of the telepathic Men in Black.
Yeah.
One man, only known as Larry, claims that one night he was drifting off to sleep when he was contacted by a strange presence, who communicated with him telepathically.
Yeah.
This weird presence explained that he was not from this earth.
Yeah.
But from beyond that.
The grave.
No, beyond beyond that. He gave no reason for contacting Larry.
Yeah.
Somewhat skeptical Larry asked the presence to provide some proof of his existence beyond Earth, and by simply and beyond simply sending thoughts to his head, he wanted a face-to-face meeting. So the presence agreed to provide him with further proof.
Yeah.
And then he'd show up during the day when Larry was with his best friend.
During the day?
Yeah, so this alien, or, Men in Black, or whoever was communicating with him.
Yeah.
So Larry wasn't sure what to make of all this, And so the next day, and he continued on with his life as usual.
Yeah.
But then he, started obsessing about the dream a couple of months afterwards.
Yeah.
Eventually, it caught up with him, and he caught up with his buddy.
Yeah.
On Independence Day. So they were celebrating in a nearby park. As Larry was talking to his friend, a black van pulled up nearby, and two black clad men got out. Two similarly dressed men exited the van.
Yeah.
After them, they did not appear to be kind of, entirely human in shape.
Okay.
And the strange men sat down on a nearby picnic table, looking over at Larry. So then, they sort of retreated back to the van and left as mysteriously as they had arrived. Larry never found out why they'd contacted him.
Yeah.
But, obviously he's,
he must know something.
He didn't, he just left it at that. He was just one of them, a mystery.
But then could he be, are they watching him because he's a victim or he's a
threat? Or who knows?
Yeah,
I mean, he might have just kind of, stumbled across something, or maybe he wasn't anything.
Yeah, true. I mean,
maybe he just had an interest. Maybe it was like something in his genetics that he wasn't even aware of that they were interested in.
I have noticed something with the abductees and to do with the MIB as well. With about the half moon scar.
No.
A half moon scar is basically those who get abducted. Quite a lot of them have this thing called the half moon scar.
Oh, sort of like a similar scar to suggest that they've been through a similar treatment.
Yeah, and it seems to be that these people are being picked, and I don't know, it could be a tracer or something on it on the person.
A chip.
Yeah, I mean, it's not on...
No. I've heard people pulling out foreign objects and claiming that they've been abducted.
Doctor who used to do it, I think he pulled out something like 16 out of about 8 victims or something. Well,
obviously, it's like we talk about foreign objects, and if it's going to be in a body, then right, okay. So we're talking about the Holy Grail is finding something that's obviously not of this earth. Yeah. Right. Now, if people and surgeons are pulling out tracer chips, they're not obviously made in Taiwan, are they? Yeah, they're going to be of another planet. Which suggests to me that they're not off this earth. Yeah. So why is that not proof enough that?
Because it's always hidden.
See.
There seems to be the fear, which I don't see. I do see an issue, but I see the reason why. Basically, it goes back to the War of the Worlds again on the radio that killed people because they were panicking. I mean, it's the same as
everyone started panicking because they thought it was like a legit news broadcast, didn't they?
But then they tried it again in the 80s in Mexico. There was a Mexico village, they tried it, and I think about 20 people died, something like that.
What, for panicking?
Yeah. And it's proven that, if, let's say, tomorrow they say a meteorite's going to hit the centre of Manchester, what are you going to do? People are going to panic.
Well, we're in the bunker, so we'll be all right.
We'll be all right,
And plus, I'm kind of way out of, I'm quite on the edge of Manchester as well, so, I'm not going to be ground zero.
Yeah, I just go to the mountains.
I think I'll be all right, to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
sure?
No, I'm only joking. I love the people of Manchester and hate anything to happen there. And how dare you even
Vibration.
suggest it? It suggests such a thing.
I'm just saying, people will panic and they will, at least half the people are going to go fucking nuts. I don't give a fuck no more. I know I'm going to die tomorrow. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And the other people are going to be the victims. Or get away. You know what I mean? So I can understand on that point, but I can also, I want to find that information to give it out beforehand, enough time for people to recognise and work things out before the actual issue happens.
So what was the War of the World? What was the point of that?
No,
I know what the point of the War of the Worlds was, but where were we going? It
was a test for what the people would do.
It was a kind of a worst case scenario panic test to see if
they say tomorrow that they prove that aliens have been here and they've been among us for millions of years.
No, I think basically we're so desensitized to it now. I think like in the 90s,
I don't think we're that far.
In the 90s, we were, we were kind of like starting to open up a lot more to it. But now that was like what 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I think like we're like aliens. Yeah, we wouldn't be too panicked. I think
it's still but it's still not mainstream. You know what I mean? It is mainstream, but it's at the bottom of the mainstream. You know what I mean? It's just clawing its way in. Now it only takes a certain let's say like YouTube with this apocalypse thing that's coming out in like about 45 days to put more sensitive things on and get rid of all the truth that people have been finding out, and conspiracy theories and this, that, and the other.
They better not take us up. Do you know what I mean? We've not done anything. We're just having a chinwag.
Well, this is it, but our opinions count if people hear.
If people want to listen, then they're entitled to their opinions as well. And they're entitled to listen to people who share their opinions.
They want to stop the freedom of speech, though. This is the thing. They want to stop. They want to be able to take control and say, no, you can't do that. But at the moment, we're turning around and going, why? Tell me why you can stop me under the law, under this, under that. What are you going to do it? You ain't going to do it with all my boys behind me. You know what I mean? It only takes.
Well, yeah, because literally, like the police get so much more pushback nowadays because people go. They've seen a video on YouTube what suggests that if you say, put a camera in an officer's face, then that's gonna
assault. Then you go down for like 1.5 years or something.
So but people they think that because they saw it on YouTube, so people are trying to look a bit more. Yeah. So I think what they're trying to do is by taking a lot of stuff like that off YouTube, then it stops people having them ideas. Yeah, which is the subduing you a bit there.
Yeah, so if I see him do it, then I know I can go outside and do it.
Well, it's stopping people from having alternate opinions or sourcing alternate news. I mean, if it gets people thinking, then does it matter? Because when regardless of what their outcome is or conclusion is, then it's they might come to the conclusion. The majority of people will, where if they look into conspiracies and stuff, where they'll go, oh, actually, there's something to that. Yeah. But it's very clever how there is something to it.
Why do you think?
But then also they might come to the conclusion that that's a load of bollocks. I don't believe a word of that. Do you know what I mean?
Why do you think they don't like a lot of people on the dole? The reason why they don't like the people on the dole, it's not necessarily about the money, because it's not coming out of their pocket, it's coming out of our pocket.
Because they've got a lot of time to sit and watch Jeremy Kyle.
They've got a lot of time to look into stuff instead of the working man, the working family. And look what they're doing now as well. They're destroying the working family by putting things
they don't like people on the dole because they don't like people. They want people paying into the pot, not taking out of it.
Yeah, but
that's what they want. If they can get you working, then you're paying tax, which is more money to go into the pot. Yeah. Money coming out of the taxpayer pot is money for people who are on government incomes. Yeah. So the fact is, it's like if they can get everybody working, that's more money in the government's pocket. It's not the other way around. They want more people working.
Actually,
that's why they don't like unemployment, and that's why they're so bothered about getting unemployment up.
Nah, because we have to have at least 1 million people unemployed. We have to have it to sustain our economy. I'm not going to go into it because it's
because there's not enough jobs to go around.
Well, no, but you have to have at least 1 million people who are unemployed, or it starts breaking down.
You're going to have to explain that to me one day.
Yeah, I'll explain.
Anyway, have you got any more Men in Black stories?
Men in Black stories. Yeah, I've got. Have you seen this about a photo? There's a photo from the 1940s. Of a guy who basically walked into this restaurant where there was a UFO, grouping getting together, and these two who was there, up there standing and talking to the crowd, had gone into this restaurant, sat down, talked, and all of a sudden this guy in black comes up, sits next to him, and you could hear him, trying to, get in and hear exactly what people were saying.
Yeah.
So he ended up turning around and asking the guy what was he up to. So the guy turned around. These gentlemen turned around and said to him, "What are you, a man in black?" And he turns around and says, "No, I'm in training." Literally says, "No, I'm in training." He was willing to stand outside the place and have a photo taken with him, yeah, of just his face, him in the background. And so you would think that would be like, all right, yeah, he might be a little bit of a nutter or something. But what makes it so strange is that the guy goes around the corner, so these two gentlemen following him, and as he walks around that corner, and the other two gentlemen follow him, as the two gentlemen were turning around that corner, he disappeared. It absolutely just disappeared.
They do. They have a habit of that, vanishing.
Yeah.
Did you? I think we briefly talked about this one on the last one.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd actually had his own encounter with the Men in Black.
4-minute interview on YouTube.
Yeah. So Dan Aykroyd has come forward with a story about how he was tapped by the Men in Black, and basically he was doing a show about the paranormal. And he was stepped out to take a phone call because basically he was on the Saturday Night Live show that night, and he was going on with Britney Spears. Yeah, Britney Spears was on it as well.
Yeah,
and she called him up, to talk about that, right? And when he went out to take the call, he noticed that there was a Ford outside.
Yeah.
And basically there was a couple of gentlemen staring at him dressed in black suits. He kind of looked back and they were gone.
Right.
So after finishing his phone call, he returned to the studio and then learned that the show had been cancelled.
Dun, dun, dun.
So because he was basically putting on a paranormal show.
Yeah.
So I think in fact it was a very big key bit of information.
Yes.
Because it was what was it about? It was something quite big. The story he was talking about, or I think it might have been something to do with.
Was it the Phoenix Lights?
It potentially might have been, actually. I can't remember exactly. I actually heard an interview with him recently, and he said exactly what it was that he was going to be talking about.
Yeah.
But there was something about a real encounter that he'd witnessed, or there was something, I think he'd witnessed something, and he was going to talk about that, and then obviously he had this encounter, only to have his show cancelled.
That's bollocks, man.
So, another story, which doesn't take place in the US or the West or the UK or Europe, it actually takes place in the Far East. Now, you don't really normally hear about Men in Black sort of encounters, in the East.
Yeah.
But so many of us, perhaps perceive the Men in Black to be a Western phenomenon. With particular focus on the United States, especially with the movie franchises, and the comic books and games and everything that comes along with that.
Africa's quite a big one.
Is it really?
Yeah, surprisingly.
So, the Men in Black are sighted all over the world, including the Far East, and in this instance, Japan. So, although its real name is Kazu, would really be researcher.
Yeah.
Brent Schwarker, I think he's called, or had an encounter with the Men in Black, and one of his close friends, Nobu.
Yeah.
And basically they were interested in UFOs. He'd even managed to record several incidents of UFOs near his home.
Yeah.
But one particular night in the heart of Tokyo was probably the strangest sort of one of all.
Yeah.
And he gave his city as a location, when he was putting it up.
Yeah.
So turned out it was a UFO hotspot, this area in Japan. So one particular evening, he was followed home from work. Yeah. And
I know what that's like.
So yeah. So he was followed from his office in the middle of Tokyo. Nobu was riding home on one of the city late night buses.
Yeah.
And he was the only one on the bus until an elderly gentleman dressed completely in black got on. He basically said he didn't even pay, and nobody paid attention to him.
What the fuck?
So he sat down opposite him, and despite him having chosen any of the seat on the bus, he basically sat there in front of him.
Well, lucky he didn't sit on his lap.
He noticed he would keep moving his hands, and looked a bit kind of.
That's a bit freaky. That.
One concern Nobu thought that the man would keep looking, taking long glances in his own window, not looking outside. However, instead using it as a reflective surface to kind of look back over at him.
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, I think. Well, there's so many incidents, but they seem more to be. I seem like I was saying before about the half moon cut, shape on the leg. I think there's more of a connection. I would reckon that he's been abducted before.
What do you think?
I would say, well, if he had nothing on him, no kind of information, or he didn't believe he had that kind of information that put his life in danger, then what other reason would you have to?
Well, especially if it's a hotspot as well. Yeah. But he was saying that he's gone out there to
had he been spurting his mouth about
he'd been taking he's been out there taking finger getting images and
of these craft.
Yeah. He's got an interest in
right,
it.
Well, then,
so he's similar to us. He's got an interest, but he's been going out actively trying to find them,
the evidence
and
together,
get photos of them. So then he's got a bus home from work from his office, and then obviously this guy, and then he's kind of using the window to spy on him as if he's not looking at him.
Yeah.
And then he looks directly at the guy, and he's just. Staring
and it's
at him.
To take precautions then, man, you know what I mean? Because, see, the biggest issue is with having an accountant with these.
How do you know? It's not just a bit of paranoia, though, that it's like you see a person dressed in black. I mean, some days I go out all in black.
Yeah, but how many people do you say dressed in black, wearing glasses, or without glasses, but wearing the old 60s?
A trilby hat.
You know what I mean? You don't see that many people.
Is it a trilby?
Maybe some of the old boys.
What are they called? Like a Stetson or something?
Yeah.
I don't know my hats.
Yeah, I got to say I don't. But I like the
baseball cap.
I would wear one. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they're smooth.
It's not viable really.
So
But yeah, so and it's not only that. It's the thing of there's usually two. They usually look the same. They're usually weird looking, hairless, problems with their ears, problems with their eyes, problems with their nose, their mouth, the way they speak, the way they actually communicate together, the way they're dressed are exactly the same, including tie, the way they walk as well. The way they walk is different. Yeah, I mean, if we was to walk outside and one decided to walk down the street, with loads of people, we would notice by the walk alone.
Yeah, and this is it though. Do you think that these men in black are a bit getting wise to it now? So I'd go out in a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, but what else?
No one's going to notice you. No one's going to put that. You think you're a men in black if you're wearing something a bit not.
Well, it's a bit dangerous
in the uniform.
I think it's a bit dangerous because if you were willing to, if I was like an agency or like a alien species, I'm coming over your planet, I'm taking over nice and slowly and all this, that and the other, and I found that you got a little bit of information of me, and it keeps happening, like let's say like over the last 100 years that there's been little bits of information, photographs of you and all this, that and the other. What should be my next step on stopping that? My next step, realistically, to stop that would be to just get rid of you.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Just get rid of you, so then...
Do it you could do it in a
so now look
a
at the
Jeffrey
411 missing
sort of
people.
Way, or a 411. Of course, yeah, I mean, people go missing all the time, and like you said, there was this whole deal to take a certain amount of people, but then they started taking more and more.
Yeah.
Dolce Bass episode, if you want to go back and listen to a bit of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, you're right. I think that you could be that these people had been previously abducted.
Yeah, I think a lot of them have been, but then it's the ones who've got information and they're going to be...
I think that, these cases where these, I think the black suit, it is obviously a calling card.
Yeah.
That you've been dealt the men in black.
Yeah.
But, again, I mean, I could go out in a black suit and claim whatever, right? But I've got a story here.
Yeah, but you haven't got weird eyes, nose, mouth, or...
True, that's true. Oh, thanks. I'm pretty handsome.
Pretty Norman.
Well, there's a story here of the Men in Grey. Have you heard of such a thing?
Yes, I've heard of... Yeah, I have, actually.
So were they the same as the Men in Black, or a different organisation?
I think it's a different organisation, but possibly I think there may even be the more dangerous of the lot, because you don't... There is a few stories out there, but there isn't as many as...
Have we got to be looking out for the Men in White? Are they going to be the fucking worst? Top fucking worst
I'd say
of the worst?
Grey up to now.
Well, normally sneaky men who appear after UFO sightings are dressed all in black.
Yeah.
But one tale from Essex in England has chose a grey suit. So William claimed that he'd never seen a UFO, and a few days... he claimed he had seen a UFO.
I was going to say, he didn't claim.
And a few days later, two men showed up at his house. One of the men stayed by the car and, maintained an intimidating presence.
Yeah.
While the other grilled, what was he called again? William. About his experience on the first visit. However, the man seemed to be more concerned about the gaining permission to enter William's home.
Yeah.
But after the answer was basically given to him, no, the man spoke in a strange voice and then seemed sort of, expressionless.
Yeah.
Had a extremely pale skin.
Yes.
And a long and oddly intimidating behaviour.
Yeah.
Was enough to scare William.
I bet it was.
God. And he chosen not to let him into his house, which I wouldn't have let him in either.
No
Sounds like
way.
a fucking one of these, what are they called?
Priests.
No, like a bailiff or a fucking... Sounds like a bailiff, bald-headed bailiff, or a Jehovah's Witness, or a TV detective man. Trying to disguise himself.
Yeah, just don't open the door, tell him fuck off.
So he wouldn't let him into his home, which, like I say, don't blame you.
Yeah.
The man basically proclaimed that he would visit him again, and not long after that, he basically turned up at his work.
Oh.
They made it clear that he wanted to talk about the UFO, and once again asked permission to enter.
Yeah.
And when William turned him down again, the man vanished and never returned.
No.
So basically,
so he didn't even get any questions in or any answers.
He wanted to be invited in, and he wouldn't invite him in. He kept saying no. So he just went, "Oh, for fuck's sake," and went. I'm not getting anything out of this guy.
Yeah, no, I think there's a little bit more to that. I think in that case, because if you're an alien species, or even top agents,
I don't understand,
you know what I mean?
Your ways.
I could break the law and get away with it on a daily basis. You know what I mean? So on the permission to ask you, you know what? That possibly could be a keyword.
What? Like
permission to let permission to let me in.
Yeah, like
to let me into your
subconscious, into your
or something like that. Yeah, that's possibly a keyword, because I have heard of there was some fucking politician
like a trigger word, sleeper agents. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. To me it sounds plausible in that way. So
I know I saw the little light bulb appear over your head then, like bing.
Yeah.
I just got a brainwave.
You got to find these connections where you can. I mean, it might not be. But
so what do you think of that story, though? Do you think that, I mean, obviously they weren't Men in Black. Yeah. They were Men in Grey.
Yeah.
Right? They were obviously a bit kind of obsessed with his UFO encounter.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about, I mean, like, you've just made a good point there, but the whole thing about him, trying to gain... It's a bit vampirous.
Yeah, that's like, what I mean,
can I have permission to enter? No. All right.
But if I was unruly, I could do what I want.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they're not very... Have you ever heard of a Men in Black incident where they've been violent?
Yes.
How many of those have there been? Because it seems to me that they're very kind of observant and they'll, hang around and follow you and try and ask you questions. Well, I don't know. Has anybody ever attacked them? That's the thing.
There's been a few cases where they've tried to attack them. But, like, nothing's really come out of it apart from them on their ass, the person who's tried to attack them on their ass and then being warned and then them walking away. But there has been incidents of it. It's just that it's not widely like talked about because, like, you would have certain people turning round and you've seen something, and then someone's knocking on your door. What the fuck you want? And they're giving it all the spiel. You don't, you haven't seen anything. If you've seen anything, if you tell anyone, we're going to do you, we're going to do your family. And that. You're going to get a few people out there who are going to go, right, you've just threatened my family. Right, just come in here in a minute, mate. Let me just give you a bit of flashing or, a gun. Yeah. Especially in America, a gun to them. Like,
he broke in.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to fucking do you if you're threatening me.
Yeah,
mate.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So,
have you got any more Men in Black encounters that you want to talk about? Because we're running out of time a bit.
Well, we've
got a few shout-outs and questions to get through. Random question time.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah.
So I think in terms of a conclusion to the Men in Black, it's still an open book, isn't it? I think we'll always keep coming back to it. Yeah. I think it's... The Men in Grey interests me. I think I'm going to look into a bit more of that.
Yeah, I think we should do the Men in Grey.
Yeah, we'll see what we can find next time.
Or even actually different people in different outfits. In different organisations, because there might be a couple more organisations out there
I reckon
there
is. I reckon there is.
Peaky Blinder or something walking in. Oi, it's Peaky Blinder time, son.
Fucking hell.
You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll definitely have a look into it.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
I think into it, so. What you're going to just keep your eyes peeled now, just in case. You know what to look for.
I've always got my eyes peeled, but baseball bats coming out next time.
If you've had an encounter with the Men in Black, or you feel like you have, or an alien encounter, an alien abduction, let us know. Email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com.
And if you're following me, stop it.
So what do you think about... let us know
what
you think about...
on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter.
Let us know what you think about all the... Dan Aykroyd, he's a well-known ufologist. I mean, the guy's had if he says he's had an experience, then I do believe him. I think there's some interesting stories. Interesting stories.
Yeah. And there must be something there for someone who actually... for a Men in Black to actually turn up and start asking...
Exactly.
Or telling you to shut the fuck
up. Quickly, I've got some good news. We've got a little Christmas treat coming up for you guys soon. Starting the 1st of December.
Yes, listen out.
There'll be something coming up. Yeah, we'll give you a bit more information a bit closer to the time, which isn't too far away now. No. I think it'll be next week we drop the bomb in terms of what our Christmas plans are. We've already planned the rest of the year in terms of episodes and stuff, so I think we've got quite a good one coming up, including our Christmas freestyle episode, which we don't have a topic. We come in totally unprepared. It's a bit of and we have a couple of people ring up as well, a couple of guests hopefully. We'll just have a good old chinwag, get Christmassy, have a few drinks and have a bit of a jolly time.
See what happens.
We've got some random questions. Taylor, you don't know what these are.
No, I haven't. I have not seen them.
Well,
they're not filthy.
Well, we've got one question. No, they're not filthy.
Oh, good.
Good questions this week. Thank you for everyone who
submitted.
Always
good questions. What you seem to get?
The Geekdom Fancast have asked us. They basically said it's Thanksgiving in the States at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to all our American cousins.
Yeah.
And have a bit of turkey and a bit of cranberry for me.
Yeah. Chill out, enjoy yourself.
Which is the question, what is your favourite side when it comes to big roast dinner, big Sunday, Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner? You know, what do you like a bit of stuffing? Do you like a bit of cranberry sauce?
No cranberry.
Do you know what I like?
Stuffing,
Applesauce.
Not really. Applesauce.
Applesauce is delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like a bit of applesauce.
Yeah.
I like crispy stuffing as well. You see, I'm
not
not a
really
big fan of
I'm not into stuffing. Really.
I do like a bit of stuffing, actually. It's
I
quite
can have
nice.
a little bit, but I don't like,
Yeah, I don't
usually
want
get
too
a
much.
Big portion for them, don't
Another thing.
I roast potatoes.
Roast potatoes.
Peas, carrots.
Do you know what? I'd rather have more roast potatoes than anything else.
Yeah. You know what? I've been looking for them all week.
Oh, do you know, basted?
No,
they've got to be made homemade, and they've got to be basted in goose fat as well. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
if I can get someone to have the time to do it.
And if we're talking roast vegetables like roast potatoes, I've got to have a bit of sweet potato.
I'll go with a bit of sweet potato. Yeah.
So
no parsnips.
Yeah. So what? No sprouts. Is the thing.
Yeah,
I think
definitely no sprouts.
Everybody's got this assumption that us Brits love a bit of sprout action at Christmas dinner. No. I think do you know what? I think some people do like them, but
yeah, we do have some.
I can imagine supermarkets just sell them and nobody eats them.
No, that's a throw at Santa when he comes across. Get it.
Tell us what your favourite sides are, Geek Fandom Cast.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I hope that has answered your question. We've got another question here from a listener. If you had to work, but you didn't need the money, what would you do?
Well, I probably, you know what? I would probably, and I had money in my bank account.
Yeah, you didn't need to work. Right. Say you won the lottery, but you just want to work. You don't have to, but you want to.
That's
what would you do?
That is quite easy. Two, I'd set up a couple of I'd set up a couple of businesses to set up some money for some charities, different charities that I'd put into. And the second one would be I would explore the actual things that, we found out, like stuff in the Antarctic, like the Nazi base, and that I would dedicate myself to try and find out the answers to the questions that a majority of us what
I'd do something fun, man. Yeah. I'd like, if I could.
I think that'd be real good.
As well. Obviously, I do photography. I'd probably set up a photography studio or some sort of like, something where, or a podcast studio or a creative sort of outlet. So a building where you could do a bit of everything. You could learn a skill. You could be, I'd put it into creative people, I think. I'd love to do something like that.
Yeah, and for future technologies as well.
Yeah, but not so much. I'm not in terms of like space exploration or anything. But technologies that benefit us in like, because I want to kind of go down those creative mediums like media and imagery and stuff like that, and audio, then stuff that's more accessible to more people, so people who have trouble with hearing, so make music accessible for people with hearing, and pictures accessible to people with eyesight problems. Do you know what I mean? And in those sorts of technology, make things easier for people who have difficulty.
For the people who need it,
exactly. Yeah.
I totally agree.
But in creative outlets and make it so everyone can do it, because everyone can, and everyone's got expression.
I will put a break on that because it will make people more lazier.
No, it doesn't.
It
not
does.
a chance.
Technology makes more people lazier.
No, but what? No, I'm not talking about technology for ease of life. I'm talking
technology
about
that people do need.
No, exactly. Technology that basically, if it makes people able to appreciate painting if they're blind. It helps people listen to fucking music when they're deaf. Music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
if that's technology that can help people and is fucking amazing. You know?
Yeah, but then if that technology can be used to abuse, to make
in
someone
that case,
more lazy,
all right, then in that case, space technology, we can scrap it because it's going to make us all lazier. You could say that about any sort of technology, but exactly. Oh no. Yeah. Anyway, we're running out of time.
We are.
Right. Anyway, it was a good question.
I won that.
Good question. Thank you. Also, got one more question.
Yeah.
This could be a long one actually. This is from Louise, and it's what sort of secret society would you like to set up?
Jesus. Well, I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. I haven't really thought it. I'm more fighting against the societies than thinking of building one up.
Like a Bilderberg or like a Skull and Bones society, like an Illuminati, or like more like a society that helps people. Because when I read this question,
to help the world move on, but in a better stage than what it is now.
There's a book called Join Me by Danny Wallace.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was I've talked about this before, but it was pre-internet.
Right.
And basically pre-Facebook.
Yeah.
And he asked people to join him by sending them a passport photo to his PO box address or his flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone started sending passport photos to him. Like, got really big, and he ended up becoming like a bit of a cult leader.
Oh, right.
But he ended up having a bit of a society where they went out and did good deeds.
Oh, yeah.
So, because he didn't know what to do with them at first, he was like, I've got all these people. It was just a whim, and he asked people to join him. He didn't know what for.
Yeah.
But recommend the book. It's good.
Yeah,
anyway,
but the problem with that is then certain other people will try and get your position and then use that power for...
Well, I suppose.
Stuff.
You're so negative.
Well,
you're a total glass half empty type of guy.
You're so reality.
Anyway, we're going to need to move on for shout-outs. We've got big shout-outs this week to Podcast HQ. The amazing, lovely Jessie G.
Go girl.
Big Badoosh, which is, I think, from Mr. Crabtree. I think he might have multiple accounts. I'm pretty sure he's to say one in the same. Let me know if I'm wrong. But
guessing.
Mr. Crabtree, we salute you, sir.
We do.
10ish podcast, who will be joining us as our first featured podcast.
Yes.
On our website. So we'll be putting their little bit up on them in December.
Yeah. So come along and listen.
Yeah, have a listen if you've not checked them out.
Yeah.
We'll be raving about them majority of December. Also, big shout out to Deep in History podcast, who I always love listening to him.
Yeah.
Swoosh, are one of our Patreons. Jay, our number one Patreon.
Yeah, man.
Dunk. Big shout out to Simon Thomas, which is Tunnel Breeze on Twitter. Geek Nerd. Fucking hell. What were these? Too many. Geek Nerd. Tangent podcast and Monkey. That's it. If you that's pretty much it for the show this week. Get in touch with us at neverastraightanswer.co.uk. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
Peace.
Out.
Bye.
Just made it.
Made it. Hey.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.